Hello, welcome to this video. I'll be building Diona in this one. First of all, I'd like to show the teams that you can use her in. Oh well, actually I feel like first of all I should probably show you guys why I'm building Diona. And it'll be in a pretty unconventional way, as you might have guessed by the title of this video. I'll be building her main DPS. The main reason for that is the fact that first of all she ascends with cryo damage bonus. Other than that, she also has some constellations that help her out, with the main ones being this one, Wine Industry Slayer, also known as her constellation 4. What it basically does is that when she's inside of her burst, the time it takes for the charge attacks to charge is reduced by 60%. So she needs 60% less time to charge her charge attacks, which makes her a charge attack DPS, sort of. Not really, but it helps her become that, if that makes sense. And then as well as the C6, which I sadly don't have. The main part right here is that when her HP is above 50%, her elemental mastery is increased by 200. This would help a lot in the first team that I'm going to show you guys. Not so much in the second team, but it's still pretty good. So why isn't Diona built like a main DPS conventionally? And that's simply because of her stats and her scaling on her talents. They're pretty horrible, actually. So yeah, that's probably the main reason why she isn't built that way. But again, she ascends with crowd damage bonus, so I thought, well, maybe that kind of makes up for it, and you have characters like Shenhe and Zhongli and Kazuha who buff like characters like crazy. So I thought like, yeah, you could probably do that with Diona as well. Other than that, a character that I don't have but would probably work really well as well would be someone like Farina, who could help Diona out a lot. So, my talents for this overall thing is 9, 10, 10, because I have 2 constellations for her to help with that. I haven't crowned her normal attack, just so you know. And for this entire video I'll be using the stringless because I have a very low selection of bows. I have a lot of rusts, and that's really about it. I have like 9 of these Favonia's war bows, so that's cool. But yeah, I can't really use the rust because it would decrease her charge attack damage by 10%, and she's a charge attack user, at least that's how I'm planning to use her. The other one would be like the Alley Hunter, but it would just be for a stat stack, really. I suppose it's the same with the Stringless and the second build that, I suppose it's the same as the Stringless, but at least it gives her some damage on her E, which does actually do some pretty decent damage, as you can see here. That's pretty fine damage, I suppose. And also, when you look at the talent reference up here, it tells you to level E, then Q because she's usually a healer, and then the normal attack because we don't level the normal attack. But I'm focusing on the normal attack here, okay? There are probably a lot of 5-star options that are way better than the stringless. You can go for either attack or elemental mastery or crit stats. So if you have any of those weapons, or you have some other weapons that don't interfere with the kit, you can use those instead of the stringless. The string is just what I have and the only one that really works on her. So yeah, in terms of the different teams that I'll be using in this video, the first one is this one right here. It's a melt team with Diona as the carry, then we have Xiangling as the melt support, and then we have Shenhe as a buffer and Zhongli as the shielder, because Diona doesn't shield enough by herself to be self-sufficient. She needs another shielder, and I thought Zhongli is pretty good because he does have some shred to make the damage a bit larger. If you don't care about defense, you can use Kazuha or Farina if you have her, but I wouldn't recommend Farina because if Diona is your only healer, you're really gonna need some healing if you also use Farina. So yeah. The other team I'll be using is this one right here. It's a freeze team that consists of Diona, Shenhe, and this time Kazuha, because we have Kokomi as the healer. You need to be a bit more cautious when you use the charge attacks because you won't have a Zhongli to protect you, but on the other hand you'll have the freeze reaction. Another thing this opens up for is the Blizzard Destroyer artifact. So I'll go into artifact sets right now, where I'll again start with the Melt team. So let's just see that real quick. The Melt team has artifacts that are as follows. It's probably best to run Wanderer's Troop because it gives elemental mastery for the Melt reaction, as well as increases her damage by 35% if you use a catalyst or a bow. And well, what do you know? Diona uses a bow. Pretty cool coincidence. So that's a good artifact set for her. I'll really quickly go over the stats. This one is pretty good. It has crit rate and crit damage and elemental mastery. That's nice. This one as well, crit rate and crit damage. The other sets are kind of not that good. ER is always useful on him because, as you can see right here, the talent cost is 80. And again, the constellation 4 right here only works inside of a, well, burst. So you need energy recharge to have the burst up. And then we have the hourglass. I have it on elemental mastery. You would go attack. I'm not really sure what's the best because I don't really have any good attack pieces for my Diona, and I don't have any Mora. I can see if I just like we could go to this one here, enhance 10,000 Mora. To those of you who don't know, that's very little. I don't think I can get to an artifact to level 4 or something like that. Like it's an extremely low amount. So yeah, I've used all of my Mora, so she'll be going on an elemental mastery build. Okay. Then we have the Goblet. It's an off piece with cryo damage bonus, and it has attack, crit rate, and EM. That's what she wants. So nice. And then the head's a bit scuffed. It should probably be crit rate because you aren't running her on the Blizzard stress stat in this case. But I don't have a crit rate head for her. I don't even have a crit damage one that she could use. So she'll have to make do with this one. It has a lot of crit damage and then a lot of flat stats right here. It's not the best, but it's answered, and that's what matters, I suppose. You can see her stats right here. She does get some crit rate from the cryo resonance bonus. The ER is a bit low, and by a bit I mean a lot. So in terms of this build at least, it could use a lot of improvement. What I will say is pretty good is the EM at 737. Nice, I suppose. But again, that's a lot. And you can see down here again, she has a 70% cryo damage bonus because of her ascension, as well as the goblet. So that's the first team. The second team that I want to go over, I'll really quickly just shift the artifacts, was the freeze team. And as you can see right here, I have put all of those artifacts on Chongyun. I think, probably, maybe, if I'm lucky. Chongyun, where's he at? He's here. There he is. Everyone's favorite, Chongyun. Let's see where are all the other ones. He's down there as well. And oh, right there. So, as you can see, I'm using Blazer Stray on the other team. I'll actually really quickly go and switch that for you guys who don't get confused. This team right here again, with Diona, Shenhe, Kazuha, and Kokomi. We're going with Blizzard Stray artifact set because of the, well, first of all, it says when a character attacks an opponent affected by cryo, the crit rate is increased by 20%. Diona will be attacking characters affected by cryo, so that's 23 crit damage. Oh, no, crit rate, sorry. And then again, if the opponent is frozen, crit rate is increased by an additional 20%. So that's just 40% free crit rate, which makes it a lot easier to build on a Blizzard Stray set. So, for this flower here, I have ER, EM, and crit damage. Nice. And then I have crit damage and crit rate. I have crit damage and ER on this one, and it's an attack stance. I have cryo damage bonus, of course, and then it has crit rate and attack when it's on set. And then I have this goblet right here with 10 crit rate and a lot of HP and some ER as well. So that's this for this one here, and it gives us a stat ratio of 85 cryo damage bonus because of the set as well. Gives 15 on top of Diona and the goblet. Then you have 170 crit damage. Only 26, but you have to remember we have the cryo resonance that gives crit rate, as well as the set gives a 40 on top of that. So it's basically a 1-to-2 ratio. So yeah, it's pretty good crit ratios in terms of this team right here. The EM is still 219, pretty high because of I'm still using her on the stringless, and the only reason I'm using her in that is because I don't have any other weapons I could use. I suppose I could actually use the Alien Hunter. It'd probably be fine. I won't get the buff down here because I'll be using her on field. But I suppose you can use the Alien Hunter on her. That's probably better than the stringless right now because of the 25 attack. So yeah, it gives her a lot more attack. Probably right. I really quickly need to check it. It should give some more attack. Yeah, it gives her like 100 more attack, even though it's 10 levels lower. So that's better. Cool. You also some more attack. You get rid of a lot of the EM because it's not nearly as necessary on freeze teams. And then you have some ER, again you probably want a bit higher. You can use Favonius on some of your characters, and then you have the Cry Resonance as well, and Shina can create some particles for Diona. So I would say you probably need around 140 to 160 if you want to build it properly. I haven't, so well, that's how it is. But yeah, I'll go show you guys where I think she's able to be used, and I'll start with doing the Overworld, then I'll do a boss like Masanori or something like that, and then I'll probably try her out in the Spiral Abyss, but I don't think it's going to be going all that well, but yeah, we'll see. So, let's get into it. Okay guys, I've currently found my first row of victims to test in the Overworld. As you can see, I'm not using Diona on field because it's a freeze build, and she still uses the Alley Hunter, which means that she can't be on field for too long. She loses damage because of that. So she's weakly off field right now. We have to do with Kazuha. But yeah, let's just go up to these guys and do a quick rotation and see how that goes. Hurry. Let's get fire on them and freeze them. Gather them up. Pop a burst. Pop an E. That was actually supposed to be hold. No deal. And then let's just see. Oof. Yeah. See? That went pretty well. That's a free precious chest. So, as you can see, it does pretty decently in the Overworld. No really problems there. Like, again, you might want some more ER, or like, well, my Shinra probably needs a bit more ER or something like that, it looks like. And then Diona probably needs some more ER. So yeah, as for the Overworld, it's pretty fine, I think. So let's just move on to some boss opponents. Okay, I'm back with my bestie, Masanori. As you can see, I've switched back to the Melt build right here with the Melt team. So yeah, let's just go at Masanori and see how that goes. If this does a lot more damage, which it probably should do, so just go ahead and spar with Masanori. Let's see. We of course start out with the E just to get a bit of protection and some particles. Then we'll pop a burst with our dear Zhongli. And then Shinra stuff. Xiangling. Pop the burst so we have some charge attack reduced, and let's see. We'll get some damage, 15k. And these are pretty low numbers actually. That sucks. She's able to hit a lot higher numbers than that. I know that for a fact. So it sucks that she's getting. Let's see if we can run really quick. Yeah, 37k right there. Let's see. And then if I could hit her, or hit him, she'd be able to do a lot more damage. So as you can see, she's able to do Masanori pretty easily. Not really any big problem as well. Might be because he's just one enemy and those seem to be a lot easier to deal with charge attacks. So yeah, no real problem there. Seems to go pretty well. So yeah, she can do bosses pretty well as well. Where you will run into some problems if you're doing a boss that like has elemental shields like this fire cube right here. That might be a problem because she can't really do, oh well, specifically with the fire cube of course she can do melt with that one. But if we were to do like here, this guy right here, the Thunder Manifestation, that could be a problem because then you can just do super conducts and overloads, but like, yeah, that's cool. But she really gets most of the damage, at least my Diona does, from the Elements Mastery and doing the melts. So you need to be careful of that and think about, okay, I can use in this scenario and, well, I can't use it in this scenario. So there's some things to think about. Another really good thing to mention is that if you have Kazuha or Farina, you can, again, switch Zhongli out if you want that. Kazuha could be fine, you'll lose a bit of protection, but sure. You can do that and then get some more damage. Farina is the same, but you'll lose a lot more protection because you'll be dealing damage to yourself. So I probably wouldn't recommend that, but you can do that if you want to. So yeah, that's just another thing that you have. So next I'll be moving on to the Spiral Abyss. So I'll really quickly just jump into the floor 12 Chamber 1, first half, to see if I can do a quick lap with Diona and see if I can beat the chamber. To be honest, I don't have my highs very high, sorry. In terms of these things, it's probably either of these two. I feel like to get a realistic view of it, I should probably take this one because it's effective this floor instead of just its chamber. So I'll do with that. As you can see, I do actually clear the first wave pretty quickly. It takes about half a minute or so, and then the second wave takes a long time because the Rift Towns have a lot of health, and my Diona doesn't do a lot of damage. So perhaps slightly predictably, it doesn't really work out all that well for me. But I do manage to like hang in there, and then eventually, after a lot of like peeling away at them like arrow for arrow, I do actually end up using a lot of time, and then at the very end I do actually end up taking them down. So that's cool. Already lost the first star, but you know, it's all cool. It's not like they tore through like my team's entire HP. As you can see, I'm trying to like regain a bit of my health by using Diona's stuff, but I sadly die on Shamili, which means I lose my main defensive option. Then Shamili goes down, and Diona keeps on taking damage. Yeah, I just isn't doing well. I try going long range, but sadly I get sniped from far away and fail the challenge. So, in conclusion, what do I think about this Diona build? First of all, I'd say it's a pretty bad team for the Spiral Abyss. You might be able to make it work if you invest really heavily into it, but I don't have the time nor resources nor the spirit to invest fully into a main DPS Diona. I know, sadly. But you can do that. You can go ahead and crown her talents, get the proper supports, build them all the way. God, she's noisy. There we go. And yeah, it might be able to work, but you need specific chambers, specific teammates, you need good artifacts, high investment, all that good stuff. If you really like Diona, go for it, sure. In terms of bosses and the overworld, I think that she's actually on a pretty good level, because I've personally had this issue with like, I don't have like the perfect units or anything, but like with my new Valette, for example, that I just got recently, he just kind of tears through everything. I feel like the owner has a much nicer and more balanced power scaling, like a much more balanced power level than a lot of the mainstream DPSs and stuff like that in the overworld. Even though she has like good, I suppose, artifacts, right? And like leveled weapons and stuff like that. She still works in the overworld to like it's just fine. It works, and you can do it just like a bit slower, but like it's not like you just go with like 2 ticks of the new Valette hyper laser beam and just destroy everything. No, you actually need to like play a bit, use your burst, go around, do a couple of rotations sometimes. So if you just want to have a fun time, build your Diona, and you don't even have to build her to like level 81 like I have. I actually tested it out before I built her. I used to have her on a Razor team when I just started the game, where she was level 70, I think, and I used that. Just like plopped on the stringless and some artifact that I had lying around, and she actually, I believe it was 36k that she hit with this team, this exact team. So even if she isn't leveled, and I think her level was like 4 or something, she can still do decent damage, and you don't need to invest all that much into her, unless you of course want to have a good Diona that can clear the abyss, maybe with high enough investment. So yeah, go level your Diona to level 60, ascend her, get her to level 70, 80 maybe, slap on some artifacts and go have fun. Try her out in the overworld and like just play around a bit. It's a cool build. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope that you guys enjoy. And classic Diona, always talking when you need to save something. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like and subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. And yeah, thanks for watching.